Have you guys noticed that each generation breeds men that are more irresponsible than men that are responsible? It seems like each generation breeds men that are less responsible than their prior generation. It's I'm not really happy with men. I'm a man, and I'm not really happy with the modern men today because I see a lot of men that act like babies, behave like babies. It's like babies making babies. There is this adage that said that they say that men are the head of the family. I do not disagree with that a bit, but I do not think he's telling us the whole story, because a man is not just the head or the figure or the face of the family or the society or the community. A man is the foundation. That's what they never told us. They would have told us, they didn't tell us that men are the foundation of societies, families, communities. Now it means that the quality of a foundation determines how strong that building lasts. If the quality of the foundation is poor, that building is likely not to stand a chance. And if the materials, the fabrics or the materials that makes up the foundation are of low standard, that building don't stand a chance. Now, why am I saying this? It seems like our prior generation, our great great ancestors and forefathers and parents, they had a mindset of what reality really was. They had a long-term perspective, and because they had a long-term perspective about the future that we live today, years ago they had this long-term view. They built a world that is compatible to this reality you and I are experiencing today. They built a world that is so compactable that you and I are proud that we have, that they lived, and we are generations after them. Now, why am I saying this? It's like a loop. The prior generation are not as efficient as the generation before them, and it rolls down, so it waters down. Each generation has a ratio of degradation in what their morality is, what their standards are, what their life is supposed to be like, what the future is, what a man or a woman is, what a kid is. Now, why am I saying this? Why I'm saying this is because we've been convinced that men are just the head, without knowing that men are also builders. We build the foundation. The men are the ones who determines how a society should look like. If a society is messed up, men should be held responsible. If a society is promiscuous, I blame the men. I do not say that the women don't have a part in it, but if the foundation is strong, the building will stand. Okay, that goes back to, let me roll to something else I was really thinking about. Ladies are more likely to marry a toxic man, or men are likely to marry a toxic woman, vice versa, than someone who is a good wife or a good husband. So it means that their perspective about reality is toxicity. They are chaotic by nature. So because chaos is their natural order, it means that they see life chaotic, and whatever is toxic and chaotic is normal to them. Now, that wasn't how our great grandparents and forefathers and ancestors saw reality. They have a 99% ratio of what reality was, and they built it. But the generation we are living at the moment do not know what reality is. Their perspective about reality is so toxic and chaotic that when you are coming in from a perspective from our previous ancestors who built the life or the environment or the world we live today, they see you as, myopic. And it's because nobody really taught these kids what it meant to be a man or a woman. you know you don't go to school and they teach you, and the topic today is, this is what it means to be a man, this is what it means to be a woman. And that has haunted our generation, our society, because we are not really taught, just like we are not taught about money, but we use it every day. Nobody teaches us how to be men and women. Nobody sits us down to show us this is what being a man is. Now, this was supposed to come from the family. The reality or the perspective about what a man and a woman is supposed to look like was supposed to come from the family, because the family makes up the society. Now, if these kids who are living toxic and chaotic life do not have fathers, because some of their fathers dumped their mom, we are not responsible, they left their mom, got the pregnant, left their mom and flew. They ran away. They did not take, they were not responsible, they were not there to be what a man is. You do not run from. Let me ask you, can a foundation say, no, I don't want to carry this house anymore? It does not happen. The foundation is there to do its job. Simple. Do you understand? Now, because nobody taught these kids how to be a man, how to be a woman, they live chaotic life and toxic lives, thinking it's normal. But you and I, who are old school, knows these things are abnormal. Now, that's my obligation is to help this generation understand what being a man and a woman is. Somebody might say, but being a woman is different in Canada and is different in Africa. Being a woman or a man is different in Europe or in South America. Well, a bird is a bird in Southeast Asia or in Europe. A lion is a lion in Africa or in Zimbabwe or in China. You get my point. So being a man, you're a man wherever you go. Being a man and a woman, your definition of what being a man does not uh, does not uh, does not negate the possibility of what nature has made it to be. I hope you wrap your head around it and understand what I'm saying. So nature has made you a man, you have to stand up to it. Nature have made you a woman, you have to stand up to it. Now, I hope this makes you think twice to reconsider, am I really an effective man? Am I making the right decision? This goes back to making poor decision, because our generation, we are not taught what really being a man or a woman is. So they make poor decisions. Nobody sits their axe down to tell them, hey, you're getting it wrong. Hey, this is not right. Hey, because nobody taught them. They weren't taught. So when society begins to introduce these things, they see you as an enemy, not as a friend. But these were things that we are supposed to have been taught at homes, in schools. So I hope this helps you to think twice and see the possibility to step up and be the man that we are supposed to be, to make think long term. How will the next generation be like? They say that each decision you make affects three generation. Each decision we make affects three generations ahead of you. So if I make any decision today, it affects three generations ahead of me. So which decision am I making today? Am I thinking long term? That was how our ancestors thought, and that's why we have a life we have today. And we have to think long term to give our future kids, our generation, a better perspective about reality. I hope this helps you. Until next time, I bounce.